Alrighty, I've got the two microphones set up again. Welcome to the Untested podcast. We're up to episode 19. Episode 19. Trying to make up for lost time because I did miss an episode 2 weeks ago. So I'm trying to speed it up. This whole setup with the camera and the different mics now actually does speed up the process quite a lot. So I'm pretty happy with that. So the new episode is out on Spotify, Apple, whatever, and Libsyn, but it's not on YouTube just yet because I'm a bit lazy. I'll do it after this. So yeah, welcome to episode 19. Last episode was about... What was it about? Falling in love with the process of something. So this one will be very similar in the same theme, but obviously not the exact same topic. Let me turn this down a little bit because it's going a bit crazy. Anyway, the title for today's topic is How You Do Anything is How You Do Everything. I did mention that on my Insta story, I believe it was last week or the week before. If you follow my Insta story at Untested_strength, I've been doing this little mini story every single day, just with a thought of the day, a stoic idea, a mindset to get behind, just to kind of get your day started right and just be thinking in a better frame of mind than you may have been already. So that's what the whole series is about. Feel free to follow along. Feel free to screenshot if it is something helpful for you. A lot of them are stoic and from the Daily Stoic book. A lot of them are just from ideas I've had. Last Friday's was actually from a movie. If you'd caught on to that, it's from the movie Passengers. Anyway, we can talk about that another time. Today's topic is How You Do Anything is How You Do Everything. The title itself should just resonate already. It's all about the amount of effort you give things. Now, me being a school teacher, I obviously see and hear and notice that there are students who do not work up to their potential. Multitude of reasons, multitude of factors, but one of them being the too cool for school factor. What do I mean by that? You're that high school kid who's quite a high achiever, but then you get some friends who may not achieve as well. The ones that don't achieve as well don't bother trying because they get this mindset going, well, what's the point of trying if I know I'm going to get a C or a D instead of an A or a B? Unfortunately, that kind of mindset can drag people down. And I will talk about this particular sentence in another topic, but if you spend too much time around those kind of people, they will drag you down and you will actually develop their bad habits too. Like I said, I'll talk about that another time because that's a very good topic to actually cover. And what happens is you don't want to stand out from your friends or your colleagues or your peers who are getting these C's and D's, and you usually get the A's and B's. So what you'll do is you'll actually match their level of effort. And that could go for academics and in the classroom work, but that could also go for, say, sporting ability and sporting levels of trying, which is actually so deflating, heartbreaking to see as a PE teacher like myself. So if some of you are listening that you know may be targeted by this, just think about what you're doing. Think about how you're acting. Think about what you could be doing better to help set up your future, because this high school time is such a short period of your life that you don't even realize. It feels like eternity right now, but it goes by like that. And many people have regrets when they leave high school. So I don't want you to leave with those kind of regrets like many people I know did. Just think about that. Now, going back to the topic of how you do anything is how you do everything. There is an admiral, and I failed to get his name for my Insta post, but he's this Navy admiral, one of the higher ups in the Navy in America, and he actually has a book called Make Your Bed. And the whole point of the book is to show that how the minuscule, the minute, the acute little things can create bigger ripple effects if you do them effectively, if you do them right, if you do them with 100% effort. So the small things like making your bed, tidying your room, as something as little as tying your shoelace perfectly, something as little as cooking your food to the perfection instead of rushing it or doing the convenient way, something as simple as styling yourself, something as simple as ironing, something that's just the minuscule little tasks. Now let's get into, I'm just trying to think of all the daily tasks that I do that you have to do probably to the best of your ability. So for example, your diet, your exercise. For example, you brushing your teeth, your hygiene. Doing things to the best of your ability. Now I'm going to quickly jump topics, but it's very, very related. There's this phenomena, and you guys in school might not hear about it, but adults do, which is called quiet quitting. And what quiet quitting is, essentially, well, this is my understanding of it anyway, what quiet quitting is if you're in a job that you're not 100% satisfied with, you do the bare minimum just to not get fired, just to not lose your job. You're doing the bare minimum so that you'll just keep your job, keep coasting by, keep making that money, but you're putting zero effort. You're putting 1% effort into this business. And that's no way to live life, because like I'm saying this whole time, how you do anything is how you do everything. So even if you're this kind of person going, oh, well, I'm going to give these guys zero effort, save my energy and then work on a business at home, work a second job another time, it's a chain reaction. It'll flow. The amount of energy you give something, it'll give you back some way, somehow, at some point. And it's funny because I have this friend at the gym, shout out to Mo. I have this friend at the gym, and he's high up in a corporation, in a business. And I told him about this whole idea of quiet quitting. What does he think of it? And he hated it. He hated the idea that someone doesn't take pride in the job they do, whether they're the cleaner, whether they change bins, whether they clean the floors, whether they stack the shelves, whether they are at the checkouts. He hated the idea that someone did not do their job with pride, regardless of if you were the cleaner or the boss at the top. And I agree with that. If you're doing the fries at McDonald's, if you're toasting the bread, if you're wiping the tables, do it to the best of your ability. Watch that transcend into other parts of your life, because it will. Do things to the best of your ability. Have pride in the job and the duties that you have, that were instilled upon you. Your life will actually be better because of it. Now here's a little story for you, and this is from a book I read quite a long time ago. In ancient Japan, there was this famous Japanese architect and builder, the guy who builds people's houses. He'd been doing the job for 30, 40, 50 years, and he goes, well, it's time for me to retire. He tells his wife, I'm gonna go into the office, I'm gonna tell the big boss that I'm gonna retire. And he was very frustrated, very tired, obviously. He goes to big boss, knocks on his door, has his meeting, goes, I've been doing this job for so long. I think it would be good if I can have my retirement and rest now and spend rest of the time with my family. And the boss goes, we appreciate all the work you've done over the years. You've made some amazing quality houses that are legendary throughout Japan. We have one favor to ask before you leave this company for good. And he said, what is that? And he said, we'd like you to build one more house. And here's the address, blah, blah, blah. Here's the information. He was very frustrated, but he agreed. Now, this man was the most famous man in Japan for building houses because of his craftsmanship, his eye for perfection, the styling, whatever. But he was the most perfect house builder in the country. Very frustrated with this favor asked of him by his big boss. He would do the job, but he would do it in a quiet quitting style. He would do it to the minimum standards. He would do it to the minimum of his own ability, minimum effort, and he would just get it done as fast as possible. Now, your common sense tells you, quality-wise, it would not be the best. Anyway, he got it done. He wasn't even happy with it, but he was like, oh, well, I got it done. Now I can quit this job. Goes back to the office, goes up to the boss and goes, sir, this house is done. I finished. Please hold up your end of the agreement and, release me from the company. The boss stands up and goes, one more thing. And he's like, oh my gosh, what is this? He hands the builder a box, small box that can be held in your hand. Builder opens up the box and there's a set of keys inside. Boss goes to him, We want to thank you for your years of hard work and dedication. This house that you built is your own. Think about that. The years and life that he dedicated to the effort of his craft, doing to the best of his ability, showing his passion and pride in his job. Obviously, he didn't realize the house was for him, but he took his foot off the gas and didn't give it his everything. And he, quote unquote, built his own house. Now, that's obviously like a crazy metaphor and analogy, but think about that in life. Think about that when you're doing your homework. Think about that when you're lifting those weights. Think about that when you're doing your sprints. Think about that when you're going for a run. Are you giving it your all? Think about that when you make your bed in the morning. Are you even making your bed in the morning? Think about that. You think you can get away with minimal effort in some things, but it always transcends across. And I've seen this a million times in my 29 years of living. How you do anything is how you do everything. Thank you for listening to episode 19, guys. This will be up on Spotify and whatever tonight. The YouTube video should be out probably the same time as the most previous one. Thank you.